guys, welcome back to my channel. If you don't know, my name is Brittany and I film videos based around the paranormal and anything kind of creepy, I guess. So if that's something that interests you, definitely make sure to hit that subscribe button. And lately I've been on a roll. I've uploaded every day recently and I just love putting these videos out there for you guys. So make sure to subscribe if you enjoy the videos and you're not yet subscribed. So today we're actually going to be talking about Harry Potter conspiracy theories. And wait 1 second. I have my Dobby. Dobby is my all-time favorite Harry Potter character. I just think he's adorable. But we're gonna put him right here. So Dobby's gonna join us for this video. And so is Sebastian. The first Harry Potter conspiracy theory is basically that Harry hallucinated everything. So essentially, he never left the cupboard underneath the stairs, and everything that you see, so Hogwarts and, Hagrid coming to rescue him essentially from the Dudleys, that's all in his head. Part of the reason that this theory is that his aunt and uncle deprived him of food, so it caused him to hallucinate. So that's actually a really sad thought. I mean, I don't want to think that Harry just imagined this all. Again, guys, these are conspiracy theories. They are fan-based. J.K. Rowling, anybody in the Harry Potter franchise have not confirmed any of these. So I'm not saying that these are true. And I'm also not agreeing with them. I don't agree with that one. That one actually disturbs me quite a bit. I want to believe that Hogwarts is real. Harry actually left that, awful situation and went to Hogwarts. The next one, though, is that Ron is a time traveler and also Dumbledore. So it says that if the chess game in Sorcerer's Stone, which is actually one of my favorite scenes out of that movie, but if it's a metaphor for the series as a whole, and the pieces the characters play are a metaphor for their roles, it's the fact that Ron not only plays the role of a knight, but also that of a king, which is the same role that Albus Dumbledore plays in the larger war against Voldemort. It's also said that Ron and Dumbledore have some same parts of their physical appearance that are awfully similar, if not the same, which is Dumbledore's long fingers and Ron's large hands, and their love of sweets, which isn't a physical feature. Now, when we first meet Dumbledore, he offers a lemon sherbet to Professor McGonagall. And when we first get introduced to Ron, he introduces Harry to the wonderful world of wizarding candy. Now, I don't know how much I believe this one. I think it's a little bit of a stretch, but we do know that, Dumbledore knows how to time travel because he gives Hermione the time turner. And Dumbledore is supposed to be this all-knowledgeable, all-powerful wizard. So it would make sense. And he's kind of seen as, Harry's guardian almost. So it also makes sense for him to be Ron to become Harry's best friend. But again, I think it is just slightly of a stretch. Another theory is that Draco Malfoy is a werewolf and not a Death Eater. The theorists say that between the 5th and 6th books, directly after Lucius Malfoy has failed to retrieve the prophecy, Voldemort actually allows Fenrir Greyback to bite his son, Draco. They also point out the fact that he's not a Death Eater, which we already kind of knew. Voldemort says maybe you can babysit the cubs to Draco when the Death Eaters find out that Remus and Tonks are having a baby. Now, I don't really know about this one either, but it is a theory. So the next one is that J.K. Rowling is actually Rita Skeeter, and after she was exiled out of the wizarding world, she actually became the author, J.K. Rowling, and decided to write under an alias about the wizarding world that rejected her. So the next one is Crookshanks is Lily Potter, which is Harry's mom. So if you guys don't know who Crookshanks is, that is Hermione's cat. Now, this theorist believes that Crookshanks is actually Lily Potter reincarnated because they both have red hair and green eyes, and the fact that Crookshanks is always trying to get Scabbers, which is Peter Pettigrew. Now, that one's a little bit far-fetched for me because it's known that cats go after mice and rats. So that's not enough for me to be like, yeah, this is Lily Potter reincarnated. So another one is that Harry and Hermione are actually siblings. So this one says that Hermione is actually the hidden secret daughter of James and Lily. And here is their evidence. 1, Hermione's overall behavior with Harry. Sometimes they finish each other's sentences, not unlike Fred and George do, but Fred and George are twins, so that's a little different. The next one is when she reads Rita Skeeter's article, Harry Potter's Secret Heartache, she was rather amused. And the third one is Hermione really knew a bit too much about the wizarding world, and particularly about Harry Potter, when she first arrived at Hogwarts. And as we know, Hermione comes from mortal parents. Personally, I just want to believe that, that her parents decided to educate her or make it a point that she was educated about the wizarding world since they were not wizards. And that way she had a little bit more of an advantage. Now the next one is that Dumbledore is actually deaf. Now this theory caused an uproar in 2014 when the tale of the 3 brothers made its rounds. Now, the wizard fairy tale follows the Peverell brothers as they receive rewards for cheating death. It's the Elder Wand, the Invisibility Cloak, and the Resurrection Stone, that makes up the Deathly Hallows. Now, the theory says that Voldemort is the oldest brother murdered in his bed by someone who sought the Elder Wand. Snape is seen as the middle brother who was driven to suicide after resurrecting the girl he had once hoped to marry before her untimely death. And we all know how much Snape loved Lily Potter. And Harry would be the youngest brother who escapes death with the cloak until giving it to his son, greeting death as an old friend and going with him gladly. Now, when Harry died, Dumbledore greeted him at King's Cross Station, and he is also the one behind Snape and Voldemort's death. He is also the one that gave Harry the invisibility cloak as well, and he had the stone and the wand too. So that does make sense in the fact that he had all 3 of the Deathly Hallows. Now the final one is that the Dursleys are actually only angry because Harry is a Horcrux. Now this actually makes a lot of sense because we all saw how Ron reacted when he had the Horcrux, and maybe the Horcruxes didn't affect Harry as much because Harry was a Horcrux himself. However, it doesn't make complete sense because Ron and Hermione were best friends with Harry, and they never acted any different when Harry was around them. However, the Dursleys do. I don't know. I just think that the Dursleys are actually just awful people. But, I mean, it does make sense in a way, but I don't know. So I want to know if you guys have heard any other Harry Potter conspiracy theories that I didn't touch base on, because I love reading them, even if I don't fully believe them. And I want to know if there are any of these that you guys believe in. I guess the one that I could believe the most is that Dumbledore is actually death, like in disguise. I think that's an awesome theory, and I think it's really interesting. Not saying it's true. I don't know, but I just think that's a really cool theory, especially because he did have all of the Deathly Hallows. But I want to know which one you guys believe in the most, or what you just think of them. And I know personally, I absolutely love this series. Harry Potter is literally one of my favorite things. I am a Ravenclaw, and yes, I have taken the Pottermore quiz to prove that, along with many other quizzes. And a fun fact, I had the PlayStation 2 Quidditch game, and I always picked Ravenclaw. So this is even, Ravenclaw is not a house that's like talked about a lot within the series. Like, it's mentioned a little bit more later on. And this game came out like well before, I don't even think Luna was introduced yet. So I always just like felt like I belonged in that house, and then I ended up actually getting that house. So I am a proud Ravenclaw. I also want to know your guys' houses. If you guys like this video, please give it a big thumbs up. And if you have not subscribed yet, please hit that subscribe button. It would mean so much to me, you guys. And I hope that you have an amazing rest of your day. And we will see you next time.